In the heart of Senegal, a powerful political wave is rising once again. What began as scattered murmurs among citizens has now transformed into loud, unified chants echoing through the streets. Sonko Président. The momentum is unmistakable. As tensions rise in the West African nation, more and more Senegalese citizens are turning their backs on current President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, demanding the return of opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, whose political vision once ignited hope in millions. This recent outburst of public dissatisfaction didn't happen overnight. It has been brewing since Diomaye stepped into office. Many people believed that Diomaye, being a close ally of Sonko, would continue the radical reformist vision they both championed during their political alliance. However, a growing number of Senegalese now feel abandoned. They say the ideals that brought Diomaye to power are being diluted. Promises that once united the youth and working class under a banner of justice and sovereignty appear to be fading into the shadows of politics as usual. Across the streets of Dakar, Ziguinchor, and even in remote towns, citizens are making their frustrations heard. Placards bearing Sonko's name wave high in the air, while passionate voices chant slogans that call for his return. Not as a supporter, not as an advisor, but as president. The slogan "Sonko or Nothing" has become more than just a protest chant. For many, it's a cry for political redemption. Those who once rallied behind Diomaye now accuse him of distancing himself from the grassroots struggle. They claim that once he stepped into the presidential palace, he became too comfortable, too quiet, and too soft on the very issues that inspired a revolutionary movement. Youth groups that once volunteered to mobilize voters have now turned into protest organizers. Civil society groups that once praised the coalition between Sonko and Diomaye are now questioning its authenticity. One protester in Dakar told Chronicle Update, "We voted for change, not for someone to get to power and forget who put him there. We followed Sonko because he stood up to the system. Now that Diomaye is in, it's like the system swallowed him." His words reflect a growing sentiment that Diomaye's presidency is beginning to resemble the very politics that Sonko risked his life to oppose. Ousmane Sonko, meanwhile, remains a central figure in Senegal's political imagination. His absence from the presidency is being felt deeply. While officially out of office, his influence remains potent. From digital platforms to community meetings, his name is on every tongue. Whether it's taxi drivers discussing his policies, students quoting his speeches, or vendors painting murals of him on walls, Sonko's image is experiencing a political rebirth. But why now? Why this resurgence in support for Sonko at a time when Diomaye is still relatively early in his presidency? Many believe that Sonko represents unfinished business. His political journey was abruptly disrupted by arrests, court cases, and a smear campaign that some still believe was designed to block his presidential ambitions. His supporters argue that he never got the chance to fulfill his vision, and that Diomaye's win was supposed to be the next best thing, a placeholder for Sonko until things could be corrected. Now they want that correction. Chronicle Update has tracked several protests over the past weeks, and a pattern is emerging. The energy, passion, and numbers are growing. Unlike the traditional opposition movements that rely on party structures, this new movement is organic. It's coming from students, mothers, market women, and even some within the diaspora. Videos of protests in Paris, New York, and London show Senegalese waving flags and calling for Sonko's leadership. This global reach signals something deeper than political rivalry. It's a demand for national restoration. Government officials have remained largely silent in the face of these calls, perhaps hoping the storm will pass. But silence may no longer be a viable strategy. Analysts say that unless the current administration engages with the growing dissent, they risk alienating the very base that once empowered them. There's also growing fear that this political dissatisfaction could spiral into civil unrest, if not addressed quickly and transparently. In an effort to contain the frustration, some of Diomaye's allies have taken to the media to explain that reform takes time. They argue that dismantling decades of systemic corruption and foreign influence cannot happen overnight. But these explanations, while logical, have not been enough to calm the growing rage on the streets. For many Senegalese, time is a luxury they feel they can no longer afford. At the center of all this remains one figure, Ousmane Sonko. Whether or not he intends to run again is yet to be confirmed, but the people have already made their choice known. They are calling his name louder than ever. His image is painted on walls, printed on t-shirts, and projected across social media timelines. He is, to many, the symbol of unfulfilled hope. This shift also speaks volumes about the nature of politics in Senegal and across West Africa. Voters are no longer passive. The rise of youth-led movements across the region, from Burkina Faso to Mali to Guinea, has shown that people are ready to defend their sovereignty with both ballots and boots. They are demanding transparency, accountability, and bold leadership that resists external control and speaks directly to the people's needs. Senegal, known for its relative stability in the region, is now at a critical turning point. What happens next could either reinforce democratic participation or push the country into a deeper cycle of unrest. Already, regional observers are keeping a close eye on developments. Some warn that ignoring this growing wave of dissatisfaction could set a dangerous precedent. For now, the streets are speaking. Their message is clear. The people feel unheard and misrepresented. They believe the revolution that began with Sonko was derailed, and they want to put it back on track. Diomaye may still have time to salvage the situation, but only if he listens, truly listens, to the heartbeat of the nation. As night falls over Dakar, the chants continue. Sonko Président echoes from neighborhoods to city squares. Whether it's a protest or a peaceful gathering, the message remains the same. The people want change, and they believe that Sonko is the key to that change. Midway through the unfolding drama, it's important to recognize the power of unity among the people. The mass mobilization is not funded by big donors, nor orchestrated by powerful political machines. It's a raw, authentic expression of national discontent, and that is what makes it so powerful and potentially unstoppable. A special thank you goes to all our loyal subscribers and supporters of Chronicle Update. Your engagement, comments, and shares help bring these critical African stories to the forefront. We remain committed to delivering truth, balance, and the voice of the people. If you value what we do, consider supporting us with a super thanks or sharing this video to spread the word. Looking ahead, one thing is certain. The political future of Senegal will not be shaped by silence. It will be shaped by the loud voices in the streets, by the courage of the youth, and by the determination of citizens who believe that a better Senegal is still possible. Whether that future includes Diomaye, Sonko, or someone else entirely, only time and the people will decide.